Thank you again, Wendy. So we're going to be speaking about 7 proven ways to manage your time and your tasks. You know, you might be challenged some days to get all your work done or even to get part of it done. You might even have days when there's so many meetings you get no work done. You come to the end of the day and say, what happened? I've heard many people tell stories where they'll say, gee whiz, in the morning, I had planned these activities, these goals that I had for the day. And by the time I got to the end of the day, I realized I didn't get any of them done. Well, maybe it's not that much of a challenge for you to get work done, or maybe you have experienced that type of situation before. Either way, I'm going to be going through some proven ways to help you to manage the work that you're trying to get done, to help you to be more productive in your day, right? So let's think a little bit about some of the challenges that we have. I know sometimes you might come to the end of your day and think, what did I accomplish? Or I just been interrupted all day. And I've had all kinds of interruptions by email and chats and Slack and everything else. Or maybe you've had back-to-back meetings. You get to the end of the day and realize all you've been doing is sitting in meetings, or maybe your email inbox is full. Well, let's talk about some techniques that we could use to deal with some of these things. Now, the first thing that I want to mention is I'm going to start with a little bit of a fun activity for us to do. And so I want everybody to grab some paper and a pen or a pencil and be ready for that. I'll give you a few minutes to gather those items while I tell a few stories. First thing that I want to say is that we can't really manage our time, right? Everybody gets the same amount of time. I worked for a really good manager who had said to me, you know, Henry, some people will say time is money, but really, he says, I believe that time is infinitely more valuable than money is. So because we all have a certain amount of it, and we can't get any more no matter what we do. We can invest money to get more money. We can try to invest in the stock market or many other things to try to make more money and increase the amount of money that we have, but we can't increase our time. There's a limited amount. So we have to be very careful how we invest our time because everyone's limited to that number of minutes in a day. And, you know, I worked with a coworker at one point, and we tried to come up with ways to be more productive. We started learning about different techniques that people use, reading about them on the internet and whatnot, and trying to exercise them and compared our notes with each other and what we experienced and the things that we felt worked for us and what didn't. And we kind of came up with like a hybrid of using all these different techniques. So these 7 different things that I'm going to go through with you, you might find that maybe some of them work for you and some don't, or maybe you come up with a hybrid approach of combining them the way that you want. But I want you to think about this. And I remember listening to a podcast one time about project management, and they were talking about estimation. And there was a manager that came on and spoke at this one podcast about how he had challenged his team to come up with estimates in different ways. And what he would say is, you know, at the end of every, you know, quarterly meeting that we had, or maybe at the end of every sprint, he would challenge the team to come up with a new way to estimate and see if they could come up with a better way to estimate. And they weren't allowed to use the same technique twice. So they always had to come up with a new technique of estimating. And of course, one of the things that he said that team came up with that works best was the Fibonacci sequence, or the modified Fibonacci sequence. Some of you may have heard about estimating this way of using numbers. You know, you got like 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, that type of thing. People will modify that a bit, but the idea is that the bigger things are, the harder it is to really be precise in estimating them. And that idea of constantly trying to improve is one. Kaizen is a word that we use sometimes. Constantly trying to improve is one that I think that all of us should use in trying to manage our time and our tasks. Because again, we all have a limited amount of time. We want to invest it wisely. And the way that we manage our tasks will help us to become more productive. So I hope you all got a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil there. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a 3-part exercise. The first part, I'm going to ask everybody to take your pen or pencil and your paper, and you're going to write the numbers 1 through 26 You're going to write them in order. 3, you don't have to put commas between them or anything. Just write the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 26. If you get done with that, then start over. I'm going to give you 1 minute to try to write these numbers down, as many numbers as you can, starting with 1, going up to 26, and then starting with 1 again up to 26, as many times as you could do that. I'm going to give you 1 minute. I'm going to start my clock, and here we go. Start now. You got 1 minute. Write all those numbers. You've got 1 minute to write 1 through 26 as many times as you can. There's no trick to this. There's no other rules. Just write those numbers. You're going to be measuring against yourself and seeing how you did. I'll give you a time count here. Let's see, we're coming up on a half a minute. Keep writing. Write as many times as you can. You're going to enjoy this exercise and what you find out from it. It's a learning experience. Okay, we got a half a minute. We got about a half a minute left. Okay, we're coming up on 15 seconds left. I'll give you a time there. Here we go. Okay, you got 15 seconds now. Keep writing. How many times can you write 1 to 26? We're going to count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put down your pen. Ha! Okay. If you want to type it in the chat, how many numbers you wrote, you can do that. 26, if you wrote it 2 times, that's going to be, 54, that type of thing. You could write it in the chat if you want to, or just keep track. Now we're going to do the second part of the exercise. If you remember, I told you to write the numbers 1 through 26. What corresponds to 1 through 26? We have 26 letters in our alphabet. So the next exercise, you're going to write the letters A through Z, A, B, C, D. You don't have to put commas between them. Just write those letters A through Z as many times as you can. When you get to Z, start over with A. Just keep writing A through Z, as many times as you can. And I'm going to give you another minute to do that. Let's see how far you get with writing the letters. And we're going to start in 2 seconds. 1, start. Go ahead, start writing. You're going to write A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, and then start over back at A again. Keep writing. How many times can you write it? And I'll give you a time count here when we get to about half a minute, so you know how far along we are. Okay, coming up on a half a minute. Here we are. We're coming up on a half a minute. And there we are. We're at half a minute. I'm going to give you another half minute to keep writing. Keep writing there. Let's see how far you can get. How many times can you write A through Z? Okay, and I'll start counting you down here when we got about 10 seconds left. We're coming up on 15. There's 15, and here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.